That port music, so good. Welcome back to another one take, and this time we got the gearing, the last original ship that launched with the game. I'm not counting the carriers, but just normal ships, right? World of War ships. We're talking about surface ships, right? So gearing, of course, is just that all-rounder DD, and let's just take a look at how I've got it set up. I'm running a torp build. I could definitely go a gun build on this thing. You could take main battery AA specialist. You could even take fearless brawler and do pretty well with this ship, honestly. Something that I'll probably get once I have a 21-point commander is superintendent, just to get that extra smoke. American smokes are so strong for both yourself and your teammates. We'll see if we smoke our teammates. I usually don't do that in random battles because I don't really know how good my random battles teammates are, but if you play in a division, a gearing is such a great addition to any division. It's just a great all-around support DD, cap contest DD, and well, the torpedo pressure it can exert is pretty insane as well. And yes, we're running the full torp build because gearing torps are some of the best torpedoes in the entire game. Not only do you get a massive 16.5 kilometers of range, with this build you get 73 knots of speed, and well, the torps hit pretty hard too, nearly doing 18,000 damage. And they're not too stealthy, but they're also not the worst torpedoes in the world, being 1.4 kilometers of detection range. They're not like if you take Shimakaze 20-kilometer torps, for example. We can take a look at those really quick and see that. Maybe I have to click on them there. Yeah, 2.5 kilometers. So we get 1.1 kilometers better detection, and not the same range, but it's close. And 16.5 kilometers of range on torpedoes is just so comfortable. That's what it really comes down to, is that it's just very, very comfortable to use a gearing these days because there is a lot of radar. I don't want to downplay that at all. Some of my videos, of course, have been a little bit skewed towards you can just play around radar. It's not a big deal. It's obviously something that you have to worry about, for sure. And with gearing, at least, yeah, you're a little slow. You're pretty easy to hit, but you're able to play at longer ranges than maybe some other destroyers are, which is so nice. You may have seen that I'm taking defensive fire. And while I don't think it's particularly useful on gearing, not like something like a Holland, which would just shred planes, right? It is nice to have to hopefully deter that carrier just a little bit extra. Anything to help me not be priority target number 1 of the enemy CV is going to help me a lot. So that's why I take it. I also feel kind of bad complaining about carriers if I don't at least have defensive fire or some of the AA skills to upgrade my ship with, right? Because then it's pretty easy to discredit what I'm saying by just going, well, yeah, you're not even trying to deal with the carrier by not taking defensive fire. So we'll see how much it actually ends up helping us this game. We do have a midway, and those rockets hurt, man. So we're gonna probably play a little bit passive, a little bit safe to start with. And well, we're not gonna go into A because we could die very quickly there. We don't really have much radar to worry about. With only a Salem having 8.5 kilometer radar, not a huge deal at all. Something you're gonna see me do a lot of is playing near my teammates. So this is how I like to deal with a carrier when I'm in a destroyer. I find a ship with good AA, Vermont, Montana, pretty good. And I try to get myself in a situation where the CV has to come into my friendly ships with good AA, hopefully, if he wants to spot me. You can see we have 2.8 kilometer AA range, and I really want to... Look at that. He just turns away. He sees Vermont, Montana, maybe the Venezia as well, and he says, no, it's not worth losing these planes or taking some damage on my planes just to check and see if there's a DD here, right? That's what it comes down to. That's how I'm playing around carriers. If I was in a Holland, I probably wouldn't do that. I would go out on my own a little bit more, bait him into my AA, pop defensive fire. Because if you can wipe out a squad of rocket planes, that's so useful to your team. It really, really does help all your destroyers, right? When you get rid of those pesky rocket planes. Because you can dodge torpedoes, dive bombers, you gotta get a bit lucky, but you know, if you maneuver in the right way, you're definitely capable of mitigating the damage, we'll say. So I'm really hopeful, really hopeful that those rocket planes aren't going to come out here. Maybe he thinks that we're all done. Let's dump some torpedoes in here because we don't know where that gearing's going to go. 16 kilometers range. There's a GK coming in. You never know what happens. And of course, our torpedoes are going to be back up very soon because with this build, you have less than a 90-second reload on these torpedoes. GK looks like he's hard charging in. Maybe he'll just go out of this gap. I was kind of hoping for a charge and then maybe a turnout. Regardless, we'll try and get some torpedoes on the gearing because he might just go into the cap. And you might not expect torpedoes from this angle since we haven't been detected yet. Something we do have to watch out for, though, is the Shimakaze and the Holland have not been spotted yet, right? We don't see either of those yet, so I would guess one of them is over here at least. The Salem's getting a little bit close. Remember, 8.5 kilometers is what we got to watch out for. And this flank is starting out pretty solid. I think once we get around this corner and we start spotting things for real, I think this is going to be really good. How are our torps looking? Well, we filled the gap, but doesn't look like there's anything in the gap. Let's call target on this Salem. 8.5 kilometers, that's what we're looking for, of course. What do we think this guy's going to do? Is he going to commit to the island, or is he going to turn out? If he turns out, he's probably dead to my battleships, so let's pretend he's going to commit to the island. Oh, he's going to turn out. And in fact, because we have such long-range torpedoes, let's put one for the Monty as well. I'm at 8 kilometers. This is okay. Since he doesn't know we're here, yeah, there you go. So now we know he used his radar. And we should be okay because he's on his way out. 8.3, we'll just wiggle a little bit maybe and avoid this one. Yeah, see, that's fine. That's totally fine. Not a big deal. We might clip him with one. It'd be really good if our Vermont actually got a salvo into the Salem. That would be so valuable. Let's see, do we get him with that one? Oh, I think he dodges it. Oh, did he overturn? He overturned, too bad. Now he's spotted these torpedoes for the Montana though, so it's unlikely we're actually gonna get any damage in on him. Torpedoes spotted, so what is that then? Those look fast, so I think it's a Holland over here. That's my guess. That's what I would say is the DD. It's extra over here. No, it's the Shima. I'm totally wrong. I'm totally wrong. My depth perception or speed perception is horrible. It's really bad. And we're gonna actually, oh, it's gearing out here. Okay, I guess that makes a little more sense. We're opening up with our AA because we want to help our team. If we know he's not coming after us, we're not in any huge danger from the Salem or the gearing, really. Their shells are so floaty at these ranges that they're not really going to do much. And look at that, we did 4,000 damage to his planes. Trying to help our team out. Let's go here and here, just to dump them. And do I have to screen these guys? I feel like I do have to screen these guys. So this is something you can do in your DDs. We're getting A cap. We have B temporarily. I don't think we'll hold B. That Shimakaze should die. And these guys are pretty healthy yet. I don't need to smoke either one of them. So I'm gonna just come up here and just screen for torpedoes. That is gonna be my goal here. I just wanna make sure these guys don't get torped, or they at least know where torpedoes are. Just doing the whole utility thing. And in fact, we will open up with our AA as well. Good, the Shima went down. Nice, nice, nice. There we go, and the planes get shot down. We'll turn our AA off again. This is a really big thing that you have to do in your DDs. you have to turn your AA off. Now, I'm trying to stay as angled as possible to where I think the gearing is, which I would guess is somewhere in here. Because I feel like he launched torps, yeah. So that's spotted super early. We know the gearing is out here now. And let's see what this guy's gonna do. Oh, we're spotted. He's a legendary mod gearing. Interesting. Gearing, of course, very thick. So you can get maybe a salvo or two of AP into him. Nah, we bounced. Pop defensive fire, pop our smoke. The goal here is to hope that he misses. It looks like he didn't. That's okay. It's okay because he's gonna lose all those planes, or at least he should. And now that we know where the gearing is, I'm guessing he's gonna run on an angle like this. So we actually are gonna torp him. Remember to turn off your AA, that resets your defensive fire cooldown. So it'll be another minute until we have another one up. We do have to be careful now though, because we know this guy outspots us. He won't out DPM us, but he outspots us for sure. And he just keeps coming in with torps or planes. Just keeps coming in with planes. But look at how many planes he has left for torpedo bombers. This guy's just been full sending them into our team. So that's okay. I'm actually going to hop into this smoke and I'm going to turn my AA on. Maybe we can shoot it down really quick for our team. Gearing is there. And we'll turn it off again. I didn't quite predict him, but that's okay. We'll spot him. And our Monty's probably going to go down eventually here. What a risky play by this Salem. There's a Vermont right here. That is crazy. The ball's on this man. He should be fine in that smoke for a minute, actually. He probably gets a heal, in fact, from that. Oh, yeah, there's the Vermont salvo. You love to see that. That's what you love to see. And now it looks like this Montana... Is he going to turn in? He might actually turn in. And in fact, this looks like it's coming for my Vermont. So we will just go like this. Not pop a defensive fire, but just do a normal hit here. This guy wants to gunboat me. I'm at a huge advantage here in a kiting position, right? Those first shots were bad, but whoever's running away as a DD tends to be at the advantage, right? Because the travel time is so long on a lot of these shots, right? Of course, we are trying to wiggle a lot. Gearing has a good rudder shift, but it's not very fast, right? So that is what you have to worry about. Trying to just make sure we don't get nuked by someone cross-mapping us a little bit. I want to follow where my torpedoes are, but it looks like they're going to miss. Who do I want to torpedo? Looks like... I think I want to help our... No, those won't get there in time. Those won't get there in time. All right. Let's go after this Montana because our Holland is about to die. Send one. And another one, just in case he turns out. Hopefully he gets the torps off, right? That would be super cool. It'd be really, really good if he got those torpedoes into him. All right, so the Monty's gonna die. That's good. Here we're hoping for, we're expecting a ram between these two. Bowon. Wow, and Holland even lived that? That's crazy. Bowon Montana versus Bowon Montana. They're not gonna do a ton of damage to each other. This guy is smoking, but moving at full speed. All right, we're gonna stop shooting because that's the game. So not huge damage in that one. It's hard to do a lot of damage when you're in a DD and people just run away, right? You're not gonna get big damage out of that, especially when their team kind of just folded. We won both sides of the map, right? Like that's just pretty easy win. In fact, all of our team actually had some pretty good XP. I think we did a pretty good job supporting our flank. And that's sometimes what you got to do, right? We did such little damage, right? But we were helpful, and we definitely, I think, made our teammates around us a little bit better. So that is what playing a destroyer is sometimes about. Sometimes it's about getting caps. Sometimes it's about damage. Sometimes you're just playing a somewhat boring. I don't know, but I don't know how boring it is. It's interesting to me, at least, the thought process behind supporting your teammates and trying to give them the best possible opportunity to succeed, right? Going and spotting torpedoes, zoning out destroyers, that kind of thing. Just having a DD on a flank is so useful to your team. Not only is it for spotting purposes, like I was doing there, but it helps to know just where enemy destroyers aren't, right? It just crosses out an area of the map where you're not going to get torpedoed from, for example, right? Like that, the Montana, it was with me there for so long. I don't know how many torpedoes he got hit by, but I don't think he would have got hit by that many, since we did a good job of spotting that enemy gearing torpedoes, even though he was shooting them from pretty far away, right? So we didn't actually kill the DD, but we zoned him out. We made sure our Montana, and our Vermont for that matter, didn't have to deal with those torpedoes. So as a battleship player myself, a lot of the time, pushing brawling battleships, having a DD on your flank, helping you out in front of you, that kind of thing, even if he's not that far in front, but like 5 kilometers in front of you, that's a huge heads up for torpedoes. It also extends the range to where you know a destroyer would be spotted by, because most DDs have a 6-ish kilometer concealment. You know, it varies obviously, but if you have a DD in front of you, you know in 6 kilometers in front of that destroyer, there's nothing, right? Assuming nothing is spotted. So there's a lot of information gathering that is done passively, just by you being in a specific position, right? So if I come out here, and I'm sitting here, spotting, torping, all that stuff, it tells my team not only what's down here, but it also tells my team they don't have a destroyer here torping from here. So my team doesn't have to worry about that angle. They have to worry about torpedoes coming up through here more. That kind of thing. It's I don't know. Maybe you get that, and it seems kind of obvious to me, but I feel like I should just say these things because maybe it's not obvious to everyone. Good learning experience, I guess. So in this one, no CV and lots of cruisers, so probably not going to be a ton of damage again. But what we do have is a Druid here. So we have a Druid, we have an Alaska, and we have a Donskoy. We're going to be very aggressive this game, since we only have to worry about Chappie Donskoy radar, Seattle radar too. Okay, so they have some radars, but I think we have better ones just because we have an Alaska. Alaska's nuts because it's tanky radar, although he's not loaded in yet. So we'll play a little passive. Something that's so super strong is a Druid. If you haven't seen that ship, it's a gigantic daring with only 2 turrets, bigger caliber guns that fire really fast AP. So no HE, but the AP is nuts on that thing, and it gets a lot of health and a heal. So if we can be spotting for that guy, he's going to do a huge amount of damage. You know what? Screw it. Pop a smoke for this dude. Hopefully he knows what to do with it. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch our torpedoes on this angle. Lots of people just come sit here. So this is a great angle to launch torpedoes into. Yeah, he's going to use it. Nice. See, Seattle's there. So hopefully our Donskoy is not going to get insta-nuked here. But this smoke should protect people from getting spotted. Although this Amalfi could be an issue. Constellation on his way in. We might actually get some good torpedoes off on him. But yeah, we just want to come out wide here. We don't want to YOLO in for the cap. That's generally not a very good play early game. Sometimes it can work if you're in a fast DD. Maybe you're in a Kleber or something like that. But in a slow tub of a ship like gearing, it's not the best. But we will shoot this guy. Right? My aim is horrible with gearing since I haven't played it much. There's a torpedo hit. We don't know on what, but it is a torpedo hit. All right. Got some hits off. And my torps are almost up again, so I'm going to do a full turn here and try and torp this angle again. Guys are doing all right. I think my smoke is helping them a little bit, but what I need to do right now is I need to spot for them. There's the Amalfi. I need to be a little bit careful of a DD being out here, but I think I can win in a gunfight against most of them, so not too big a deal. What I'm trying to find is this clump here. People love to sit here, so I am going to torpedo just so we miss the island, and I'm going to dump bow sets there. We're radared by what? What are we radared by? Does the Constellation get radar? Oh, it does. Why was I thinking that's the, what's the tier 10 Vermont that's in testing right now? I forget what that one's called, but I was thinking I was fighting that. Silly me. But yeah, Constellation gets radar. Seattle currently getting crushed. Look at, we're doing a good job of spotting. Seattle's got radar up, but that's actually not a huge deal. So he's gonna actually be baited into shooting me, and we're gonna hopefully just be able to dodge it. We slowed down, turned in. We're gonna turn out, accelerate, and turn back in. Try and juke some of these shells. Team, please. Team, please. Team, please. Team, please. Team, please. Just shoot him. Team, just shoot him, please. That's all I ask. Hello? Team? Oh, I got our rudder. Now we're slow. There. Radar's done. We took too much damage there, but wow, my teammates do not want to shoot a radar cruiser in the open. And yes, I know he's a little far away, but man, it's like, it's such a squishy ship. Seattle's big. It doesn't handle very well. Like, oh well, it's fine. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. Do I want to torp this Missouri? We will torp in this gap here, right? In between these two islands. And then we'll torp the corner again. And now we've lost too much HP to really go deal with the Z-52. Although he's right here, so let's just shoot him. So bad with gearing arcs. I'll admit it. I'm really bad with the gearing arcs. I don't play American destroyers all that often. But now that he's gone that way and used his... He's gone that way and used his smoke. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually push for this cap. We're getting a druid coming in the middle. So I think we'll be okay to push this. The Constellation probably has his radar up. Seattle's actually turned back in, so we'll have to be a little careful of that. Looks like one hit on the Constellation. Yeah, nice. 10k. I'll take it. So we're currently winning the other side, so I actually don't want to be super aggressive here. And in fact, our druid is going to get into A, so I don't want to risk this crossing here. Not at all. Where do I torp now? And our torps come up so quickly. I really haven't done a good job of showing you how strong the curing torpedoes are. They're nice for like area denial, but they're really insane when you have people actually pushing into you. But unfortunately, that's not what we're having right now. Is that Constellation radar? I guess we'll see. That was Constellation radar. Yep, because the Seattle is at 11.3. We know he does not have that long range of radar. That's so good to know. In fact, if that guy didn't shoot, I would have been scared to go back out here. But since he shot and he's over here again, I'm actually going to head back out to this corner because it's such a strong angle to take. for spotting purposes. I also want to kind of get in front of this Soyuz to spot some torps. Z-52 torps don't hurt that much, but they can flood and they can eventually get you down, right? So you have to worry about that a little bit. He's turning out, but I don't think he's at that much risk. The other thing we're doing by coming out here is we're preventing these guys from just using this island to shoot over for free, right? We don't want to give people free damage. If a cruiser is not able to shoot from behind an island and not get spotted, right? That's their goal, right? They want to shoot from behind these islands and not get lit. But if he's not able to do that, then yeah, we're gonna do... It's so difficult to know. I'm on half HP. I think I could take a Z-52 on 3/4, maybe. My guns are better, especially if I angle properly. His AP chunks, but his HE is really bad. I just gotta play a little safe right now. It's so tempting. It's so tempting to keep pushing. It's so fun when you get a DD down down behind the enemy team. They have no... They just panic, right? But I think it's just a better play to stay up here spotting, torping, that kind of thing, around my Soyuz. In fact, here's the torp. So we know the Z-52 is here and he's not down here. I was just worried about taking a 1v1 in an unfavorable way. And actually, there's the Z-52 right there. We know where he is. Donsoy's got radar for him. And in fact, we're just going to smoke up and shoot him then. Easy peasy. Keep it on quarter speed because we have such a massive smoke screen. We may as well use it. Again, over time you'll get much better with the arcs, but as you can see, I'm pretty bad with these guns. They're not the easiest to use. They're good guns. They're really good guns. They hit for a lot of damage. The AP is surprisingly good, but I'm just bad with them. That's what it comes down to. I'm just really bad with them. Maybe I should be using a gunboat. Maybe I'd recommend you guys use a gunboat more because there's really not enough battleships pushing to really justify the torpedo build, I don't think. We're not getting a lot of use out of it. My torps are loaded right now and I don't really have much to torpedo at, right? So, because they're just running straight up. Soyuz is gonna go down. So I guess the Seattle's gonna turn in a little bit. No, he's gonna turn out. We'll launch here and here. Try and hit some on the Seattle or the Constellation, whoever decides they want to push in. But this game's over. 2 really low damage games. I'm sorry, we didn't get a ton of action, but now we're getting blamed for the Soyuz, by the Soyuz for dying. The man turned out flat broadside to a smoke with a DD in it. I'm not sure about that play. That's something I think this, in general, the World of Warships community is pretty bad at, is recognizing when they've made a mistake. And that was a mistake by that Soyuz, for sure. Oh yeah, look at this game. It is over. Decent zoning torps. We might have hit one on the Seattle or the Constellation if he pushed in, but is it over? Yeah, it's definitely over. But yeah, you're gonna get blamed a lot as a DD player. That's how it works. You play a DD and someone dies around you and you didn't crawl on your hands and knees getting them everything they could possibly want, spoon feeding them, then you're gonna get blamed. You just play your own game and it'll be all right. I was gonna hit the island. Oh, this is a well-clipped island. Good job, Wargaming. Now, could we just have that everywhere, please? See, I'm trying to bait out the radar. That's all. Right. We keep them spotted for long enough, they're gonna want to radar. And then we just go behind the island, and we're impossible to hit. Pretty easy. And in fact, we're gonna get 2 on the Constellation, maybe 3 if he's fast. There you go. Another 2 hits. Not bad. 60k damage. Reverse out a little bit. Maybe bait them into shooting for my team to get spotted. Nah, we're good. And that's the game. Sometimes you have good ones, sometimes you don't. And this one was more of the tactics, I guess, behind playing a DD. Decision making. I guess that's what you can take from this one. Decision making, that kind of thing, when people don't push. Not overcommitting into things, spotting, that kind of thing. So, an alright game. We got okay damage, you know, we just pretty much did most of our damage to this poor constellation, but yeah, I mean, when there's no battleships around, you're gonna have a tough time dealing damage in anything, because battleships are the crop of damage to be farmed by everyone else. That's just kind of how it goes in this game these days. So that is the gearing. It's a really good destroyer still. I think it's the, I mean, pretty cliche, but jack of all trades, master of none is probably the best way to do it. Maybe torpedoes. Maybe it has the best torpedoes. You don't have as many as Shima, and they don't hit as hard. You get a better reload, better concealment, better range, depending on which you use, 12s or 20s. Your guns are good, but not overpowered or overwhelming gun power. It's just decent gun power. You have the best smokes, at least for team play. You have decent concealment, not the best. Decent AA, not the best. It's a great ship to learn the role of a DD, to play a DD, that kind of thing. And I think as we do more of these one takes and we slowly work our way down into the lower tiers, you'll see that Fletcher's a great ship, Benson's a great ship, Mahan's a great ship, Farragut's a great ship, Nicholas is a great ship, Clemston is a great ship. So if you're looking for a destroyer line to try out, I can definitely recommend the American DDs. They are very, very, very good. And they'll get you into a destroyer playstyle. And then from there, you can decide, hey, I want to play gunboats more. Yeah, let me go for the Russian DDs or the French DDs or the British DDs. These are hybrids as well. Daring is probably a little more gun focused than torp focused. Like the gearing is a little more torp focused if we're comparing the daring and the gearing. But yeah, it's a great introduction to destroyers, and I think it's still an excellent DD to have in your port. It's probably the best team play DD. So if you find you're divvying up with a Des Moines, for example, right? Or a Worcester or anything, it's a great team play DD. So that is the gearing. One take, done. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a great day.